He was fighting against an outside force. Lewis Hamilton had one hand tied behind his back by F1 race director Michael Masi during his controversial title defeat by Max Verstappen, claims former Red Bull driver Mark Webber. Lewis Hamilton had one arm tied behind his back in his controversial title decider against Max Verstappen, according to former Formula One driver Mark Webber. Race director Michael Masi has faced widespread criticism since the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, which saw Verstappen pass Hamilton on the first lap to claim his maiden championship. Masi's call to allow some drivers to unlap themselves behind the safety cars, and not others, put Verstappen right on the tail of Hamilton on much fresher tyres as the race was set to resume with one lap to go. Webber, who won 9 races for the Red Bull team which Verstappen drives for, said Hamilton was fighting against an outside force. He told Australia's 9 Wide World of Sports, he felt he was robbed on the last lap, because he couldn't fight. He had nothing to fight with, and it wasn't through his own doing. He was fighting against something that was an outside force. The now Channel 4 F1 pundit went on to add, "For the sport we were all disappointed it ended like that. It's not how we wanted it to end. Both of them deserved to lift the trophy, but we did not want it to finish like that at all. We wanted a straight fight, a clean fight, and unfortunately there was one guy with his hand tied behind his back." Of course, in hindsight they would all agree we could have done something different. What happened wasn't the ideal scenario. It comes as the FIA say they are aware of radio messages between Red Bull sporting director Jonathan Wheatley and Masi that have raised fresh questions over the outcome of the Abu Dhabi title decider. Hamilton looked set to coast to victory with 5 lapped cars separating himself and Red Bull's Verstappen. However, Masi ordered the lapped cars to unlap themselves behind the safety car, resulting in Verstappen closing the gap on his British rival. With the Dutchman on a fresher set of tyres, he was able to pass Hamilton on the final lap to win the championship. Masi has been accused of giving in to pressure applied by Red Bull chief Christian Horner and Wheatley, resulting in his decision not to follow the FIA rules and allow the cars to pass. In the radio messages, Masi is heard receiving advice from Wheatley on how to deal with the lapped cars with Red Bull desperate for a final lap shootout. Wheatley first says, "Those lapped cars, you don't need to let them go right the way around and catch up with the back of the pack. You only need to let them go, and then we've got a motor race on our hands." Understood, the Australian responds before making his decision. When Mercedes chief Toto Wolff demanded a reason for the controversial call, Masi replied, "Toto, it's called a motor race, okay?" The video has gained traction on social media but is not a new revelation. It was initially released by Formula One 4 days after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but only now has it caused a whirlwind online, with the hashtag #F1X trending as a result. The BBC reports that the FIA have access to all radio communication from Abu Dhabi, so are aware of the footage. They are due to release the findings of their inquiry into the controversial ending to the season finale at a meeting of the F1 Commission next Monday. The inquiry was launched to determine how the mistakes in the desert were made, with BBC also reporting that figures within the FIA acknowledge that Masi failed to follow the rules correctly, which consequently had an effect on the title outcome. The same outlet claims that there is a growing belief that Masi's position as race director is untenable following his judgment calls in Abu Dhabi.